Good evening, everyone, and welcome to my Week 2 discussion presentation. And this week's topic is the California State Budget. Here's a brief overview of what we'll be going over today. First, we'll identify two budget priorities in the governor's budget proposal, the following May revision, and subsequently the enacted state budget as it relates to these two priorities. So, what are two budgetary priorities from the governor's proposed budget? As we can see from this general fund expenditures pie chart on the slide, two of the largest programs that are the focus of the budget are K through 12 education and health and human services. Typically, when most of your money is spent on specific programs, it can be looked at as a budget priority. The Health and Human Services Agency, also referred to as Cal HHS, oversees health and social services to the most vulnerable and at-risk portions of the community. Their programs include Medi-Cal, child care development, and administration of the MCO tax. K through 12, on the other hand, is the state's educational infrastructure for grades kindergarten through 12th grade, and it services around 6 million students through more than 10,000 schools in the state. So let's first focus on health and human services, walking it through from the governor's proposed budget, the May revisions, and finally the enacted state budget. As you can see, for fiscal year 23-24, Health and Human Services had a $74 billion budget. By the time the May revision came about, it went down to $73.6 billion, and finally, in the enacted state budget, the final budget for fiscal year 23-24 was $73.6, so pretty close to the May revision figures. Now, to look at fiscal year 24-25 for Health and Human Services, the governor's budget proposal started at $73.58 billion. When the May revision came out, that budget went down to $70.19 billion. And at the state's enacted budget for fiscal year 24-25, it went back up, not quite to the budget proposal level, but back up to $71.36 billion. There were a few key factors that affected the fluctuation in the Health and Human Services programs, and one of them is a change in the healthcare workforce budget. There was an overall reduction of $746 million in general funds over a course of 5 years, $200.6 million of which affected the 23-24 budget, and almost $300 million of it affected the 24-25 budget. So as you can see, there was a shift in the priorities in the healthcare workforce program under the Health and Human Services Department. Now on to the K through 12 program. Walking through the fiscal year 23-24 K through 12 budget, beginning with the governor's budget proposal. It started at a budget of $76.14 billion, and as of the May revision, it went down to $73.74 billion, and at the enacted state budget, it went down even further at $69.8 billion. For fiscal year 24-25, it started at $76.18 billion, and it went to $76.32 billion as of the May revision. And finally, at the state's enacted budget, it went up even higher at $81.32 billion. So some of this could be caused by a shift in timing. As you can see, the fiscal year 23-24 budget kept going down as time went on, but then you'll notice that 24-25's budget kept going up. So it could just be a deferral of some of those programs into the next fiscal year. But in addition to that, there was also a shift in priorities. For one, the arts and music in schools budget was increased by $907 million to support the arts and music in school. Additionally, categorical program cost of living adjustments of $89.2 million are also reflected in the budget. And with that, I'd like to thank you for your time and walking through 2 budget priorities with me today. I'd be happy to take any questions, and thank you in advance for your feedback. Have a great day.